Hello, everybody, and welcome to our live webinar today, Your Tax Office in the Cloud, available anytime, anywhere. We're very excited to present once again on this topic that has been definitely top of mind for a lot of tax professionals this year. And we have a panel that will discuss those benefits, and we're actually going to see a lot of these solutions live and answer your questions and show you what you want to see, because there has been a lot of talk about it. And now after October 15th, and as you get ready for the beginning of tax season next year, now is the time to evaluate new solutions and see what's out there and see if you are in the right place, or you may need to find a solution that will better fit your business needs. So joining me today are Anthony Sampson, enroll agent and solution architect for Wolters Kluwer Tax and Accounting, and Don, with almost 40 years of experience in tax and accounting. So very excited about our panel today. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Luis Galvez. I'm a technical marketing manager, been in the tax and accounting industry for about 15 years. Now, to the topic at hand, and that is, what is a cloud and what are the key benefits? So let's go ahead and get to it. Dawn and Anthony, let's start with the top 5 benefits of running a virtual tax office. And Dawn, you know this, and every tax professional that you talk to knows this as well, and that is accessibility anytime, anywhere.
That's right, Luis. It's funny, but they always laugh at me because I help people and I'll pull off the side of the road and pull out my laptop or my iPad and be able to log in and help people with tax returns. So that's the big thing. Any place you have internet within today's world with our phones, we've got it anywhere. I always tease you guys because I can't quite see it on my phone, this old woman like you guys do. Anthony does everything on his phone, but I always carry a tablet with me so I can see it on my tablet. So I have access wherever I am, as long as I have internet and I've got some sort of a device, whether it's a phone, a tablet, or my computer. So all of that you can always see anywhere you are. So like I said, I don't have to be at the office. I used to have to be at the office when everything was desktop.
And let me go ahead and fix my PowerPoint here. But while I do that, Anthony, so the benefits of the cloud have a lot to do with the 5 benefits of running a virtual tax office. That's one of the many reasons many tax professionals choose to use a solution like TaxWise Online.
Absolutely. Let me take myself off mute here. So it's tremendous benefits in the cloud. And we all remember, earlier this year, back in March, let's say March 16th or something like that, when everybody started working remote, when everyone had to take some precautionary measures to protect themselves and their loved ones by social distancing and things of that nature, it became very evident that a need for a cloud-based solution was important. As some of you folks have sent your staff to work from home, how do you know they're really working, and do they have access to the necessary items in order to be efficient and effective? So many benefits around the cloud, because instead of you having to spend your hard-earned money on maintaining a server, a local server, and things of that nature, you're able to trust us, Wolters Kluwer, who's a multi-billion-dollar company, that we can invest our resources into having an environment and it enables you to be able to prepare taxes anywhere that you have an internet connection at. So that's really a lot of benefits around the cloud, but also it has some digital interface connections that allows your customers to be able to send data to you digitally and send that data to you on that cloud-based platform as well. So there's so many benefits that run the cloud. I'm so excited, Luis. Let's just skip the next 3 bullet points. Let's get right into the presentation. I'm just kidding.
That's right. But before we get there, Don, I mean, is it easy to use? A lot of people fear the transition factor. Okay, I'm used to preparing returns in my desktop solution, and I've been doing that for 20 years. Now you're going to ask me to prepare returns online. Is it going to be easy? What do I have to do to learn it? And what's there to be gained from the transition?
So, guys, there's so many benefits to it and the ease of use. One of the things when we developed TaxWise Online is that within an hour, you had to be comfortable with it coming off of desktop. For our customers that are using desktop, it's very, very slight changes from what you're used to. There are round radio buttons instead of square checkboxes. One of the colors, the calculated fields, is yellow in TaxWise Desktop, it's green and online. But other than that, you navigate almost identically. Everything, you've got your tree, you've got your refund monitor, but all of the administrative tasks are gone. I don't have to install the software. I just enter a URL and I get in it. I don't have to add states. So if I have somebody who comes in, I'm in Georgia, and I have someone who comes in from Indiana, I don't have to add the Indiana state to the return. I just put the 2 letters in and it's there. So no adding state, no updating, no installing. And as Anthony said, no having to do a network. All I have to do is be able to get online. So I don't have to have someone come in like Geek Squad or somebody like that to set up a server and set up a network in my office. I can just have laptops or something inexpensive because nothing's on my computer.
Okay, let me just add one thing too. A couple months ago, my wife, she bought a Chromebook, a Google Chromebook, a couple $100, and it dawned on me when she dawned on me. It dawned on me when she bought the Chromebook that she's able to just access everything online. And many of her applications, things that she uses, pretty much on Google Chrome. So the need to have an expensive Windows or Mac computer was very unnecessary. And because TaxWise Online runs in your web browser, there's no software installation required. You can use a Chromebook, you can use a iPad or something like that. I
Yeah.
think Dawn has her iPad.
Yep.
So the cost of running your tax business, and that actually goes into number 4, which is my segue over here. The cost of running your tax business has dramatically increased. And many of you folks, maybe doing taxes probably was your part-time business, but maybe you lost your full-time job and now you're thinking, hey, maybe I should ramp up and do this full-time and have a tax business. This is a great opportunity to do that because there's many customers that are going to need their refunds as right away as possible as they can get. And also too, the fact that the cost to run your business, to be efficient, to be effective, uh, we've lowered that cost by taking on that burden, Wolters Kluwer, of protecting your data and having in the cloud-based environment. So there's so many costs and efficiency gains that you'll gain utilizing the product. And then one last thing too, let's say you have a mentor, maybe you have someone who's, better at, more seasoned at doing taxes, 10, 15, 20 years like Dawn. And you say, hey, Dawn, I'm struggling on this, this tax credit or this deduction, get permission from your client to share that information with Dawn, or get permission, sorry, not Dawn, with somebody else, your mentor, and they could easily log in and review that return to make sure it's correct and make sure it's accurate. So there's so much scalability that you can do with this product, and that actually segues into Dawn's point 5, scaling your business up and down.
Yep. And that's the great thing about the online piece, Anthony. Like you said, those cost savings and the efficiency gains are tremendous, but it's also so scalable because, again, it's an online product. So I can go in and add users and give them access, or I can purchase other offices, but I can still look at the returns. Or if they're all under my name, I can determine that nobody else e-files until I review returns and e-file them. So I can have as much control as I need if I want to open other offices. Maybe I have a sister that's done some taxes with me, but she moved away. Well, now she can be doing taxes wherever she is as well. So just having that flexibility to be able to scale. And what we saw this year is the people that had put mobile and a virtual office into effect, when COVID came, they just kept going. Most of them had increases in their businesses. I've got one guy I'm talking to in New Hampshire. He's doing tax returns from people in Vermont and New York because he knew people that didn't scale and change with the pandemic, and they've been sending people to him because he has mobile and a virtual office.
That's right, Dawn. So speaking of mobile, let's go ahead and take a look at these solutions and what they look like. So we're gonna show you the TaxWise Mobile, which is an optional tool that you now have as a TaxWise Online user to allow your taxpayer clients to submit information ahead of time that you will receive in your tax prep software. So we'll show you that. Then from there, we go into TaxWise Online, which is where you actually prepare the return. You actually store the documents within the return in online, and Don will show you that as well. We'll prepare the return, submit the electronic signatures, and then share documents back and forth with the client portal. So what I'm gonna do, Anthony, is I'm gonna go ahead and give you presentation rights so that you can go ahead and show us the TaxWise Mobile, which is again the first step in the cycle of the virtual office, but it is an optional step only because you have the ability to use it But you can say, no, I just want to prepare returns the way I typically do. No worries there.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And I just want to confirm, are you able to see the TaxWise Mobile up on my
We
screen?
can.
Thank you, Donald. Wonderful. Now, one of the things you'll see, let's start from here for a second. There's a reason why I have this minimized. And why do I have this minimized? Because this product is mobile friendly. So when we went to market with this product about a year ago or 18 months ago, but about a year ago, and a lot of folks were saying, well, why you don't have an app? Why you don't have an app? The reason why we don't have an app is we want to make life easy for you as a tax professional. We don't want you to be an IT professional and have to give instructions and application instructions. Pretty much with this mobile site, anyone can pretty much go to your mobile interview and start answering questions and start uploading and sending you documents. Another thing too is being able to co-brand it so it looks like your company. So many of you folks already have a logo, a business logo, things of that nature. I love Dawn over here. Dawn has her actual logo, Right Way Tax Solutions, right? So she already has her logo. So this could be the same thing. You can put your logo up on here, right? So now there's two things that can take place for your customers. First thing is they can go through and they can get a refund estimator, right? Now, how many of you folks actually have customers that would come to your office or they call you, and the first thing they ask you, or I should say the second thing, the first thing they ask you is how much is it going to cost, right? And the second thing they ask you, how much are you going to get back? And they haven't even given you any of their information, right? But they want to, how much is it going to cost, or how much am I getting back, right? So clients could actually go through an actual estimator, and they could put in some information about their income and deductions, and the software could actually give them an estimate of what their tax refund would look like. Now think about it. We're in the digital age right now. So being able to actually send someone this questionnaire that you can go through and go through those questions and answer those questions and things of that nature. You can send this on Instagram. You can send this on LinkedIn, Facebook, and try to get some leads and try to get some people to be able to click on this. Now, as you get so many subscribers, I'm sorry, as it gets many clicking on this and going through the estimator and estimating what their tax refund is, then what's going to happen is they'll be able to create an account and start to enter in their information. Now, mind you, they could be sitting at home on the couch watching TV, or they could actually be in your office. You could have iPads, or they could be in your office on their phone waiting for their appointment and start entering this information in. But once they've entered that information, they can go through and answer the question, are you going to be filing your tax return for this year? Absolutely. Now, we've got a couple more weeks left for the stimulus, right? Or the recovery rebate, the proper IRS term, right? So we actually allow our customers to be able to file zero income returns if you've got clients that don't really qualify to file a tax return because they have low income or things of that nature, but they need to have some information in the system in order to get their stimulus check. Well, we've got the ability for them to register for stimulus payment, and we've got some questions that they can go through. But typically your client's going to go through the file my tax return for this year. They'll hit next, and I've got some information already set up in here. Just they'll put their filing status, and what's happening is all this information that's entered in, their name, their phone number, their email address, things of that nature. Are they disabled? Because there's different additional deductions if they're disabled. They can go through and enter this. Now, where's my folks that speak Spanish, right? ¿Tú hablas español? Where's my folks that speak Spanish? Louis, where you at?
That's
We
right.
can go ahead and change this to Spanish, right? So now I can't read Spanish, I can't read Spanish, but I'm sure you can see if you speak Spanish and your customers speak Spanish, they will exactly know what this means. So it's a bilingual solution for English and Spanish speaking customers, and they could always change it back over here to English, all right? So they can go through, enter all their address, enter all their information. Now here's the beautiful part. They have the ability to upload information. Now you got to think about it. Dawn is all the way in Georgia, right? And Dawn is doing taxes for her friends in Texas, in Houston, Texas, right? Well, how are they Dawn going to validate that they are who they say they are? We got a couple of security measures that we need to take, right? We'll talk about the e-sign security measures a little bit later, but we want some identification, right? In order to get a bank product and things of that nature, we need some identification. So they can upload a copy of their driver's license. They can also upload a copy of their W-2 into here. They'll be able to go through that process and upload their W-2. And then if they have any other additional documents, they can come through in here and upload, such as items regarding their student loan or 1098 tuition, things of that nature. They can go through here. And pretty much if they want to apply, if you're ready to take those bank product customers, I'm sure you're probably going to get a lot of customers this year. If they want to advance in that, they could select the option yes and begin going to the bank disclosure documentation that they need to go through in order to get their actual refund anticipation loan. So definitely going through that, a couple questions, how do they want to get their refund, and then it can give you an estimate of what the tax preparation fees are. You can definitely have this zeroed out if you don't want to give estimates. You want to do it over the phone or face to face. That's fine. It's at your leisure. Or if you want to get the question removed, you also can do that too. But definitely, here you go. The clients can review information about themselves, things of that nature. They can definitely review what they've entered in, upload additional documents if they need to, and then they can finalize it. But before they finalize it, they get to choose their preferred method of contact. So definitely, in the world we live in, I mean, you can't get millennials on the phone. Sometimes you can't even get me on the phone. Email, please. I get a million emails a day. You probably can't get me through email, but Dawn's going to show you a little bit later about the text messaging capability that you're going to be able to text customers from the tax software. Dawn's going to show you how to do that a little bit later on our presentation, so stay tuned for that. But definitely choosing that text message option, they can click submit interview. And now, how many times do you folks get questions, phone calls in your office, just to the client saying, hey, what's the status of my taxes? What's the status of my return, right? Well, the client can come in and track that status. Instead of them having to call you maybe every day, they can come in and log in and see that their return is being reviewed, they're waiting on signatures. They can even get a notification that e-file's been submitted. And you'll see a little bit later on in the presentation that we even have the technology with text-to-lint that the client can get a text message notifying them their return has been accepted by the IRS. Those additional steps of communicating and over-communicating help with your client retention and help clients wanting to come back to you. So Don, I'm going to pass it over to you.
So Anthony sent that interview, and you'll notice here I have an import interviews button in TaxWise Online. So this is like the all returns list if you're in desktop. So it's a list of all your returns that you've been working on, and I've got a button to import interviews. So when I click on it, I can see the interviews that have come in since the last time I looked at it. And you'll see I have one here from Anthony. And so when I click on it, it's going to load it into TaxWise Online. From the mobile, you'll see here Anthony's name, his address, his email address, and I believe he put his cell phone too, so I could text him so we can show you that as well. So all the information that he filled in came through. You'll also notice in the tree, right above the forms tree, there is a box called Vault. This is for the documents, that W-2 or that driver's license that he added into the return, come through in Vault, and I can look at it and see the documents. You'll notice that there's a W-2 and it says scan document. One of the things that we've built into the TaxWise Online and Vault, whether you get the document from mobile or whether you bring it in by taking a photo in your office or importing it in, either way, you can scan W-2s and 1099 miscellaneous this year for 2020, and it will put the data into the software. I'm just going to show you. We're not going to go the whole way through it, but I wanted you to see that when I click on scan document, it tells me I can overwrite the existing ones or I can create a new one. So if I had carry forward and I had the data from last year, who they worked for, and I don't want to just go in and input the data, I can just overwrite the existing information and scan the document. It's going to look at all the fields. Any that are empty, it will go ahead and hide. It'll show them, but it won't import them in. And you'll see I have an import button. So once it shows all the numbers, I can actually look at them and make sure that they're correct. So you see here, I'm going to go to the second page, third, sorry. And here's your federal income tax withheld, Social Security wages. So here's the information that's been brought in. And again, if I check it, if something's wrong, I can come in here, like this wages, tips, and other compensation. I can come in and type in what's supposed to be there. It picked up what was in the box, 78506.29. So I can correct it if it's wrong. And then again, as I said, I could click import. Because my computer's so slow today and we've only got so much time, I'm not going to do that right now. I'm just going to close it. but it will bring that information right into the tax return. It will add a W-2 in the tree, and then that number will carry forward onto the 1040 as well. Once we are all done with the return, and we're going to pretend we're done, what I would do is I would click on e-signature. Now, with the mobile, I would use remote, but I want you to see what I'm doing. So I'm not going to use remote today, but you'll see here, how will the taxpayer sign? When the person is not in my office, I want to make sure I use remote because it sends what are called KBA questions. And the KBA questions are things like, what address did you live in 2016? It'll give you 3 addresses and none of the above. Or what bank has your current car loan? And again, it'll list some banks and none of the above. So typically when the client is not in front of you and you're not looking at their face and their driver's license and saying, yes, that's them, this was one of the things that Anthony talked about earlier about fraud and identity theft protection. They have to answer those questions before they ever get to see the tax return. So I'm going to do on preparer's device just so you can see how it's done. And I'm going to go ahead and click submit. You'll notice for the ERO and the preparer, I said don't sign electronically. It's going to load the information, and we currently use DocuSign with TaxWise Online. And so what it's doing is it's pulling the tax return over to DocuSign. And typically they'll get an email when it's remote and say, click here to sign your documents, and they'll click it. Some people ask if they have to have an account with DocuSign. They do not, but if they want to keep the document there to store it, they can set one up. You'll notice that it says sign now. I'm going to click on it, and it opened in a new tab. So I've still got the tax return on my tab, if you can see that. And what's going to happen is DocuSign's going to open, and one of the things it's going to ask is if they've read documentation about electronic signature to make sure they know that they're signing electronic. So I'm not going to read the record and signature disclosure form, but you really need to, and you need to make sure that the taxpayer understands it. But I'm going to say, yes, we've read it, and click continue. I'll go ahead and click start, and then I'll click on this first sign button, which is at the bottom of page 2 now. So you'll notice here, I have a choice of a signature pad, draw. I'm going to close this because that's for my signature pad, or select style. So again, depending on what you've got, if I'm in my office and I have a topaz signature pad and the taxpayer's in my office, I can use the signature pad. If they are home and they're on an iPad or a tablet that they have a touch screen, or their computer, they can draw and click on draw and actually sign it. And I happen to have a touch screen on my laptop, so I'm actually writing my name here so you can see it in this screen. And then I would click adopt and sign. Well, I'm going to do select style. It's got Anthony's name and his initials. I can change it if I prefer a different style. So let's make this bold one. Anthony's pretty bold. And we'll click adopt and sign. Once we do that, every time we click sign, it's going to put his signature on the documents. When I click finish, it is going to take that signed document and put it in the vault, in that taxpayer's vault in the return.
So I could actually pick up here for the client portal, because after that client has actually signed that return, the client, now you have the ability to publish that tax return directly to the actual client portal. And just, Luis, if you could just shake your head if you can see my client portal there here for me.
I can see it.
Absolutely. Thank you, Luis. So with that client being able to, with that client having to sign that return, now how many times do you get a message from your client, or an email or a phone call or a text message? Hey, I'm applying for a mortgage. I'm refinancing. Hey, I need my taxes. Can you give me the last 3 years of taxes? The loan officer needs this. Can I get it right now, please? right? That's the typical request that comes in from clients. And for you folks who are doing 300, 400, 500, 600 clients, or even 1,000 clients, that is a lot. Getting a lot of those requests from a client, and that's not something that produces revenue, right? Giving a client a copy of a tax return that you already gave them 6 or 7 months ago, that doesn't produce revenue. But we've got a tool in here to help you to streamline that process, okay? So we've got something called a client portal. And when you're looking at the client portal, you can actually store multiple years of tax returns directly on that client portal. So 15, 16, 17, 18, as many years as they need, you can store it directly here in that portal. And then now one of the things too, so this is the firm side. This is what the firm is seeing as they're managing this, right? Now let's look at the client side. This is what the client side looks like. So on that client side, the client can definitely create and add custom folders. They could easily do that. That's definitely not a problem. But let me ask you a question. You've got a vested interest in your client's success, right? When your client learns that they have a way to invite others to the portal, it completely streamlines not only your practice, but also their lives as well. Because remember that mortgage broker, that loan officer that we're talking about that the client needs to give them all their documents to? In many cases, and even I've done this myself, I've just went ahead and emailed my tax return to my loan officer to do my mortgage application and not even knowing anything about data security and data protection, right? So being able to have the client actually invite others to the portal, so they can invite their spouse, they can definitely invite their loan officer. This streamlines that operation because now they're maintaining the integrity, the security of the they're maintaining the integrity and security of the documents. The IRS encourages clients to encrypt sensitive data, and that's essentially what's happening over here. So they can definitely invite their spouse and things of that nature. They can simply click upload and hit upload and either drag and drop something or just bring it in here. Now, the great thing about this product is that this product, if I just went ahead and clicked upload 2017 tax documents just like that, and upload is really, really simple. Now, what's great about this product is it's not just for your computer. You know, everyone's on a mobile device nowadays, right? Everyone's on a cell phone. So if the client is on their cell phone, they can definitely take pictures of the documents or upload the documents directly to the portal. And we often get that question, hey, how do I know if I need the portal or if I need mobile? What's the best way? How do I decide? Well, think of the portal as a multi-year storage solution. Definitely, if you've got clients, business owners, S corps, partnerships, I don't care if they're single member LLCs, as long as if you got clients that are business owners or clients that have multiple years of documents that you are keeping for them or storing for them, you want to encourage them to get the portal. And then for clients that maybe you're just doing their 1040 simple return W2, definitely, you want to, if you don't have to put them on the portal, you can definitely have the e-signature option available. Now the question is, or that comes up is, how do we make money from this? How does firms make money from this? Well, I've got an opportunity to travel the country and speak to many of you TaxWise customers, and I learned something very astounding, that you customers actually charge a reprint fee, right? Dawn taught me that. I didn't even know what a reprint fee was. That was amazing that I learned that. I was hearing that some people charge a reprint fee of $10. I was hearing some people charge a reprint fee of $25. I think we were in Los Angeles a couple of years ago, and I heard a reprint fee of $50 because it's reprinting the tax return, right? You've already given that to the client, so here's your obligation. Well, think about it. How about charging your client a technology fee and encouraging the client to say, hey, I'm going to keep all the years of the tax returns. And like I said, I spent I spent about 3 years working for Jackson Hewitt while I was in college, and they charged every single customer a $25 document retention and technology fee. You got to think about it. In order to store this client data, you've got the ability to you have to protect that information, right? So imagine charging each client. I'm going to be conservative. Let's say you've got a practice of 450 clients, right? And you charge each client $15. I'm going to keep it conservative, the technology fee. You put that on the invoice, even if it's buried in the fee. That's $6,750 in technology fees that you can generate in your practice by creating a level of convenience, having all the client records in one location so the clients don't have to bother you for a reprint fee, and they have the ability to invite their loan officer and everyone to their portal. All right, and there's so much more that the portal can do. It definitely has integration with all your clients and TaxWise. You don't have to manually set it up. You just send the invitations out. People can accept it. But there's so many things that the portal can do for the client.
So let me go ahead and share my presentation one more time, and then we'll wrap it up. And so just to recap, we looked at the TaxWise Mobile, which is a taxpayer interview tool that they find online. You can attract new customers and even use it for your current customers if you want. From there, we go into the TaxWise Online tax preparation solution. So all of your daily tax return preparation needs will be taken care of there. You log in from your web browser, you log in from your smartphone, you log in from your tablet, anytime and definitely anywhere. So if you're not in the office, no problem. If you're on vacation, no problem. Not only do you access your tax returns, you also access your documents because we have the Vault document storage. So as Don showed, at the bottom of the forms tree, inside the return, all of your documents will be there. So your PDFs, your pictures, your signed copies of the tax returns, all of that will be there, stored online and accessible from within the tax return. So you don't have to find the customer and then find a folder where you have the document, open the tax return and all the documents are there. If you're ready to sign it, click e-signature. You have an in-person signature for somebody that's sitting in front of you. It's a known individual, and then you have somebody that is not sitting in front of you and you need to verify their identity, you're going to use a remote signature. And then finally, if you have the need to collaborate back and forth, to share documents back and forth without having to physically come into the office and while keeping a paper trail, an electronic trail of everything that you're sharing, you want to use the client portal. You don't want to start emailing information because that's where we start getting in trouble with identity theft and cybersecurity and all of that. So very excited to show you these 5 components of the TaxWise Virtual Office. I'm going to launch a polling question right here just to see if you would like to learn more about the virtual office. If so, we'll give you a phone call, we'll send you some information, and that way you can evaluate, because that's what it's all about, for you to find out whether you are in the right place by looking at other alternatives. And then if you're not in the right place, you may find something that better fits your business, and then it's definitely time well spent. It's a win-win situation, either to confirm or to find something that may benefit your business. If you are a TaxWise customer, you can call the number on the screen. That's to talk to your account manager, 800-495-4626. If you're not using TaxWise, there is a page on the screen that you can visit to start a TaxWise Online trial for free, to learn more about TaxWise Online, to schedule a consultation with a representative. So different things that you can do there on that page. Don, Anthony, once again, a pleasure to host a webinar session with you. Thank you everybody for attending, and we'll see you next time.